Hello students. So today we are going to start with the new chapter. So the name of this chapter is Flow of Heat. So in the previous chapter we have discussed about the heat and its effects. So now we are going to understand the various processes or various mode by which a heat can flow. So let us start this topic. So starting with the question, so our question is, it is in our mind that does heat flow? Is it like this or not? So to answer this question, we can have one small activity. So let's do an activity. So what you have to do is fill a glass with hot water. Now leave it for some time. So what you will feel that water has cooled down. After some time you will notice that the water has cooled down. So what is the reason behind it? Why it is so that why water has cooled down after some time? So the reason is hot water has lost heat to its surrounding. So that means heat which is there in the hot water has been lost into the surrounding. So we can see this is the hot water which is present in the bowl. So the heat will generally move from the hot water to the surrounding. So this movement is from the hot water to the surrounding. Similarly, if we can perform one more activity, so here we are going to take a glass or a bowl with full of ice. So you know very well ice is very cold. So after some time, what we will observe that ice has started melting and it started melting into the water. So this is what happened after some time. So again the question arises in our mind why it is so. So this time we can say that ice has gained heat from its surrounding. So if this is ice, so well when it is kept in the open environment, so it will take up the heat. So heat will be going inside the ice. So ice has taken the heat from its surrounding. So that is again because of this only this melting of ice has taken place. So now in these two activity, what we have observed that heat flow from the higher temperature to the lower temperature. So this is the direction of heat. So remember, whenever heat will flow, it will flow from higher temperature towards the or to the lower temperature. So this will be the direction of flow of heat. Now, on the basis of mode of heat of transfer, I mean where there are various processes by which heat can be transferred from one body to the other. So first process is known as conduction. Similarly, there is a process which is known as convection, and there is a process which is known as radiation. So these are the three method, or I would say these are the three different way by which heat can be transferred from one place to another or from one body to the another. So these are the three different mode of heat transfer. Now going ahead with the first one. So in this particular video I am going to tell you about conduction. So conduction. So what is conduction? So as per the definition, so it is the process of transfer of heat. Remember, it is a process of transfer of heat in which heat travels from molecules to molecule. Remember, one molecule is giving heat to the other molecule. And what is molecule? We have already studied in the previous lecture. It is the smallest particle available in the substance. So it may be atom. In some cases, it may be molecule. So molecules are giving heat to the other molecule, and the transfer of heat, the direction of heat will be again from hotter end to the colder end. So this will be the direction. So molecule, remember, molecule themselves do not travel from one end to the other, but they transfer the heat from hotter end to the colder end. So you have to remember 2 points for this conduction. One is that two objects are to be in contact. Remember, conduction will take place only when these two objects, one is it hotter, having hotter temperature, and one at colder temperature. So both should be in contact, and their temperature, the temperature on which they are basically should not be same. If it is same, then there will be no transfer of heat. So that we have to keep in our mind. So this is about the conduction. So this is definition of the conduction. Now we can see this activity. So this activity is given in your syllabus, and this is very common activity to show the conduction. So in this activity, if you can see in this diagram, so this is the metal rod. We know very well that conduction is basically metals are very good conductors. So what is this good conductor? It will come later on in this video. So basically in this experiment, what we can do, we can take a metal rod. So this is the metal rod which we have clamped with the help of stand like here. So now what you have to do is you have to put the thumbnails, like thumbstacks are there. So with the help of wax, you can apply this thumbstack onto the what we can say this metal rod. So at particular distance like 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have placed it. Now what we will do, we have to burn candle, and we are going to apply heat of this candle, burning candle, onto this one end. So what will happen, the heat will transfer along this rod, metal rod. So now we are burning, we are providing heat to this end. Now what we will see in this experiment, that these stackings, these thumbstack will fall down after some time. Why? Because heat will start moving from this end to this end, and this the wax by which we have pasted this nails. So they are this wax is going to melt, and first of all this nail or thumbtack will move downward, then this, then this, then this, like this. All the thumbstack will move down, fall downward. This is because this iron rod or metal rod start heating up. So this way we can conclude that yes, the heat is moving from the hotter end to the colder end like this. So this is the direction of it. So we can see that this is the conduction process. Now, so what happened basically in this? So I have told you conduction takes place with the help of transfer of heat by the help of molecules of metals. So these dot-like structure, this yellowish dot, or you can say creamish dots, are basically the molecules of metal. So this is the end which from where we are providing the heat, like candle heat is there. So the heat is moving in this direction. So one molecule, these molecules are transferring their heat to the other set of molecules. Similarly, these molecules are transferring the heat to this. So likewise, the heat will move from this end to this end. So here is our hand. So we can feel the heat like this. So you have observed this thing. If you are going to, there are lots of utensils in your kitchen also. So like if you are going to, like some utensils are there whose handles are made up of metal. So you can observe that one end which is kept on fire, if it is start burning, then the heat will come, it will transfer to the handle also. So later on. So this is the example of conduction basically. So remember, metal rod, the particles or the molecules of metals are very close to each other. So they are solid. So that is why the particles, we have already studied, the particle of solids are very close to each other. That is why they are going to transfer heat very easily and very fast from one molecule to the other. So that is why normally solids, specifically metals, are good conductor of heat. So now we can watch the video of this conduction also, how the heat transfer in conduction, specifically in metal rod. So we are having this video. So I have already described you this thing, that the molecules are going to vibrate faster because of the heat, and this vibration will be transferred to the other set of molecules like this. So ultimately the heat will reach from the hotter end to the colder end. Now let us watch this video. So you can see burning of fire is causing more vibration to this end, and the particle of the fire end side will start vibrating more vigorously, more randomly, and they will pass on the heat energy to the particle onto the left side. So ultimately the heat from the right end, that is fire end, will move toward the hand part of the like this. So this is how the heat is going to be transferred or conducted in the metal rod. Okay, now what is this conductor and insulator? So in term of conduction of heat, we can divide substances either in form of conductor or in form of insulators. So remember, materials which allow heat to be conducted through them. Remember, material which allow heat to be conducted through them easily are called good conductor of heat. So these are the materials which are basically, normally these are metals. So these are the materials which allow the heat pass through them very easily. So they are good conductor of heat. So we can take the examples like iron. So we have seen many utensils of iron like copper, silver. So they are going to pass the heat very easily. So that is why they are good conductor of heat. Similarly, there are some material which do not allow heat to be conducted through them easily, and that is why these materials are called bad conductor of heat, or there is some specific word, that is insulator. So they are called insulator of heat. They are not going to conduct the heat very easily. So if we take the examples, so examples are very common. These are like wood, plastic, glass. So these are the bad conductor of heat. So they are also known as insulators. Now, depending upon their property of conduction, so these conductor or insulator can be used for many purposes. So conductors, if I am going to take the example of conductors, because they are good in providing the conduction of heat. So when we want the heat to transfer fast, so where I mean, for that particular thing, we can use the conductors. So like cooking utensils, these are the these are basically made up of conductors. So like normally cooking utensils are made up of copper, aluminium. So they are good conductor of heat. That is why we are using it. So basically we want our food to get cooked very fast. So that is why we use this type of conductor. Yes. Similarly, there are use of insulators also. So you know very well insulators are bad conductor. So generally we prefer insulators like plastic, like bakelite, to make the handles of cooking utensils. So that we can carry the handle, the utensil properly without having any effect of heat. So that is why we use the insulator in that way, like bakelite. Similarly, there are some gloves like oven gloves are there, which are basically made up of some fabric, that is like jute fabric. So these are bad conductor. So that can be used in that way also. Now, if we take about, there are other examples of insulator also. So remember, there is some common thing. Let me tell you that solids are generally good conductor of what we can say heat, but whereas liquid are bad conductor of heat. Similarly, gases are, again, these are also a bad conductor of heat. So that is why gases like air normally present in our atmosphere, these are insulator, and they can be used for the purpose of insulating. Like in the winter, when we use a blanket which is double layered, so air which is present between the layer of this blanket help in the insulation. So it will keep us warm during the winter season. So air acting as insulator is also can be used for this purpose also. So remember this thing. So I have told you solids, normally metals, are good conductor, whereas liquid and gases, these are bad conductor of heat. So this is all about the conduction. So in the next video I am going to take the second mode of transfer of heat, that is convection.